Well, hey there, friends. Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and I'm here with a very brand new dragon friend to talk to you about a really amazing, incredible book today. So if you remember last week, I introduced you to Zephyr, my new dragon, and I told you that there were two new dragons. Here is my second dragon, and he is just over the moon excited to talk to you about this book today. This is a book that I had been meaning to read for quite a while and just hadn't gotten around to it. It was really, really popular when it first came out last year, and there was a lot of hype around it. And you know, it just seemed sort of like the book I would kind of love, and I just didn't get to it. So I finally did, and I am so glad I did because it's amazing. But now I'm just kicking myself that I didn't get a chance to read it sooner because it's incredible. So what is this book that we're talking about? It is Skandar and the Unicorn Thief by A.F. Steadman. Skandar and the Unicorn Thief. So you can probably tell from the cover that, you know, this is a book about unicorns, but it's also a book about adventure, and it looks kind of dangerous as well, right? So I do want to ask you a question. So when you think of the scariest, most fierce, dangerous, mystical, magical creature that you can, what's one of the first things that comes to mind? What do you think? Yes, definitely dragon, right? That's the first one I think of. But you could also think of, like, I don't know, maybe a griffin or a kraken if you're thinking of something in the water, a manticore. There's all kinds of mystical and magical creatures that are just considered to be, you know, dangerous and fierce and deadly. What's one that you don't generally think of right off the top of the bat, right? Unicorns. I mean, sure, there's lots of stories where they're very fierce and they're very noble creatures, but when you think of bloodthirsty, menacing, danger to humanity creature, unicorn is probably not what you're thinking of, right? Well, that's one of the really cool things about this book, is because it takes, you know, regular unicorn mythology and just completely turns it on its head. Because in this book, unicorns are bloodthirsty, crazed beasts. Yes, you heard that right. They are dangerous to humanity, and if unicorns are the wild unicorns that exist, people just have to stay away from them because they are super, super dangerous. They have really, really long lives. They're big, they're strong, they can they eat blood basically, they can trample on people. But everything isn't just horrible, right, with unicorns. So there are ways that people can bond with their unicorns when they hatch, because in this universe, unicorns hatch from eggs. And when they do, and they bond with a person, that person can become their rider, and they can feel each other's thoughts and emotions. And even though that unicorn still is very dangerous and a strong beast, it is not as scary as a wild unicorn. But not just anybody can be a unicorn tamer or a unicorn rider. You have to take a hatchery test. All the kids when they turn 12 have to take a hatchery test, and then that will give them the obligation to be able to go and see if they can hatch a unicorn. So Skandar is the main character of the story. And ever since he's been a little boy, he has been obsessed with unicorns. His whole family is obsessed with unicorns. He is desperate to take his hatchery test and claim a unicorn for his own. His sister, his elder sister, took the unicorn test the year before and failed. So she is still very depressed about that, and Skandar is very concerned and worried that he's not going to be up to the task. And on the day of his test, a really terrible thing happens, and he's not able to take it. So he thinks, oh my gosh, this is the end. My dreams of becoming a unicorn rider are just, you know, completely gone. They're done in the trash. But then something happens that allows him to actually go to the island, because he lives on the mainland. So there's the mainland, and then there's the island, and the island is where all the unicorn training and everything takes place. So he goes to the island, and he is able to hatch his own unicorn. So what follows from there is him going to this school where he has to learn to, you know, what magical element he controls. There's the 4 elements, right? There's fire, water, wind, and earth. And there is also a 5th element called spirit. But we don't talk about spirit because spirit is sort of a hush-hush topic in this world. And you'll find out why when you read. And basically he meets, you know, some new friends, and there's adventure and danger because there is this person called the Weaver who is stealing people's unicorns and trying to break the bond between the riders and the unicorns, and, you know, have them bond with him instead. So there's all kinds of things going on in this book. Like I said in the beginning, what I really love the most about this is how it takes what a lot of people just consider regular, you know, unicorn mythology and turns it on its head. There are definitely stories, of course, of unicorns being really strong and they can be dangerous, but not anything like this before. They are wild and crazy in this story, which is just absolutely amazing. There's so many twists and turns. There's a lot of big revelations. I don't want to get too much into the story because I don't want to spoil it for you. But even just the way the magic is used, the way that the school is set up in the story, and even the way that the unicorns are hatched, right, from eggs, it's just really, really cool. And the bonds between them and their rider. Everything about this book is really fun. It's fast-paced. It's exciting. It's filled with adventure and danger and just all kinds of magical beasts. And I loved it. I loved everything about this book. Now, this is the first book in a series. The second book is also out now too. So if you read this and you find that you are dying to read more, don't worry, there is a second book out. I haven't got to it yet. I'm going to actually read it next. So when I do read it, I will come back and do another video and talk about how the second book holds up. But it is definitely going to be part of a series. This is going to be big, guys. It's so much fun. Highly recommend it, especially if you are someone who loves fantasy, if you love adventure and danger and all kinds of good stuff like that. Skandar and the Unicorn Thief. Well, that's what we've got for you guys today. I hope that this book sounds super exciting and that you're really pumped to read it. If so, feel free to please come and get this book from Farmington Community Library. It is available for checkout. And also, please give this video a like. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.